Hey everybody, welcome to MUSE TV. We are here with Dylan Garcia. New single coming out, Summer Love. It's coming out this Friday. How's everything going, especially during this this abnormal time frame that we're doing?
To be honest with you, everything is going great.
Oh,
To be
that's good.
honest with you, everything is going great.
Yeah.
Everything kind of got shut down, and it's kind of just giving me a chance to just concentrate on being creative
Mhm.
and create, new music. The song that's coming out right now, "Summer Love," began like right around the time when this whole thing started. Around the time when it wasn't full bore. It was more like a warning, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
something's going on." And I originally just had the guitar. I laid the guitar down, and I made a drum beat, came up with the guitar that I wanted, composed the song, and then I didn't know which direction to take it after that. So I kind of let it sit for a little bit. Got back at it when I was inspired. I looked at something, looked actually at one of my notes on my phone, and that's kind of what triggered the song. Was just seeing that, like, oh, hey, this actually sounds like it'd be a pretty good idea for this song. And majority of the time when I'm writing, I really want the song to fit the melody, the theme of the song, like the story that's behind it.
Yeah.
And it just came about. It made me think about those times when you go on summer vacation, as a teenager, and you see that cutie that you want to talk to, or you're away at school and you come home for summer break, and you run into that one girl from your hometown that you always had a thing for. But now you're kind of grown, and you're going to college, so you got a little bit more swagger to you, and that's what the song's about. That's what the song's about.
Cool. And that's the one thing like I've noticed right now during these times. There's a lot of creativity going on. I
Yeah,
mean, just like you mentioned, when this all started, you were able to belt out a song within this time frame.
yeah,
How has it been, and how's the creative juices been, considering that we can't go outside to get that inspiration, but
yeah,
you're finding that inspiration either through old memories or things that happen around your house?
yeah. It's given me a lot of time for self-care,
Hmm.
I guess you would say, as well.
Hmm.
And self-care for me is being creative, playing music. And I have a studio at home, and it's giving me the luxury of being able to create on my own time.
Hmm.
And given that we are at home, it rather than just sit at home and watch TV or binge on Netflix, I'd rather be doing something productive. And
Yeah.
like you said, we can't really go outside that much. The beaches are open here where I live here in Oxnard. So I've just reconnected with going to the beach. I started surfing again.
Yeah.
A lot of the old vibes that I did as I was younger are starting to come back.
Hmm.
And that's been a real positive thing for me,
Cool.
I guess you would
Cool.
say.
So, in your creative background, and who you inspire from, what are some of the sounds that you inspire from, especially with this song? It's very much a surf type of song.
Yeah,
When I was listening to it, preparing for this video, I do what I normally do when I'm listening to music. I go in
yeah.
my car and I listen to music because for some reason, being at home and listening to a track or listening to an album, trying to review it, it just isn't the same. It's like
Yeah.
going in your car, driving by the beach, and getting a feel for it is where you really get it. And that's what the feeling that you got from it. Give us an inspiration and some of the bands that you listen to that you wanted to kind of like give that taste into the song.
A lot of it would come from a lot of the reggae, not reggae, but like the California reggae style that we got going on. Like bands from San Diego, like Slightly Stupid, or you got Pepper from Hawaii.
Mhm.
Um, Iration has been a big influence. And a lot of the 2000s like pop punk scene that happened in that time frame, because it has like a little pop punk feel to it, with the way the lead guitar, with the way the electric guitar is done. And but with all that, like, I'm trying to create like my own sound. I don't want to do a copycat. Like, I don't want to be a copycat reggae artist or a copycat reggae band, because that's already done. That's already been done. I'm trying to create my own lane. And that's why I'm combining like all these different styles of music into my own style. And I do believe it definitely shows like the influences, but it's like I give it that little special touch to it, I guess you would say. Another band that I really listen to, I don't know if you're familiar with, is El Chicano,
Yep.
a band from the 70s. I grew up listening to that music, like washing the cars with my dad on Friday. Like he'd put this one radio station that we have at the University at Santa Barbara, and they'd be playing the jams, like the old school jams from like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really big influence on me as well. And I think that's what what differentiates me is I come with that old school sound already to it, you know?
Yeah. And that's why, like, I remember that because I'm 45. So I remember my dad giving me that influence from those type of bands like El Chicano War, that 70s style type of music. And it really did influence, to me, it feels like it influenced a lot of musicians in our age because you could hear it in the music.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, like, I've heard with, like, it's funny how you mentioned it because you could hear those type of sounds. You could hear those type of different things within the track. And I think that's what makes it even better is that you get that influence, you get that fullness of history.
Yeah.
So with Summer Love is what are we seeing from this? Are we going to see a video come out with it? Are you going to see an album come out?
The actual video is dropping at 9 p.m. on Thursday, the exact time it goes live on Spotify here on the West Coast. It's set for release on Friday the 31st, but technically they count midnight on the East Coast, so 9 o'clock it's live for us here on the West Coast. The music video's gonna drop. We shot that at the beach. Had a beautiful woman that took part with me in the video. Definitely really good. Definitely suits the theme of the song. It kind of like, oh wow, there's actually a visual to this song as well. You know, and I think that's important. And the director who shot it, a buddy of mine, he had the vision, you know, to do the same kind of vision as me to do it at the beach, but he knew where to shoot and what angles to have and everything else. So I'm really looking for. He actually sent me a text message that it's almost done.
Nice,
so I'm excited.
And that's you got really lucky on that one. You're able to get that video up and ready to go because I've known a lot of my friends are like, we've released a single, but we're gonna have to wait to get that video done, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but it's like it's what the day is. And the one thing I did want to talk to you about too, and then bringing up El Chicano again, I want to bring into this what we're seeing here in the Chicano music scene right now. We're seeing Chicano oldies is now there's bands that are coming out. It's a big deal. What are your thoughts about that? Like we're seeing these young kids now in their teens and 20s going back to that style of music that we grew up with.
Well, you know, the artist to me that I really, really look up to is Mayer Hawthorne. Mm-hmm. And Mayer Hawthorne is kind of like I kind of want to say he's kind of like the spark for that to come back because he started doing that music, you know, 5-10 years ago is when he started bringing that style. So to me, it's funny because I dig the music, but I can't, it's not as I shouldn't say this. It's not as appealing to me because it's like Mayer Hawthorne already did that.
Yeah.
You know? It's kind of like, you know, it was already done. And I do believe a lot of these new artists got that influence from Mayer Hawthorne from what he did. Like when he did the song, I Wish It Would Rain. Mm-hmm. He did that song, Maybe So, Maybe No. He did that song. And that's what really got me stuck on him. It's like, wow, this guy's got this white dude's got some soul. Mm-hmm. And now I'm starting to see the other artists doing it. I know one of them, Trish Toledo is doing that style of music. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one because another one popped up on my Spotify playlist the other day. I'm all for it, you know. And what I'm all for is they're keeping that style of music alive. Mm-hmm. They're keeping it alive. You know, it's kind of sounds copycat to me, mm-hmm. but they're still keeping it alive. You know, and that's what's good. And if it's good for the Chicano culture and they really dig it, then I'm all for it. You know, Because a lot of that goes with lowrider culture, stuff like that. That's like that style of music fits that scene. So it sounds all the same to me, but you know, I'm really for it that it can keep the Chicano lowriding culture and stuff like that alive.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's the one thing that I like about what everybody's doing right now. We're seeing some great music come out.
We're seeing a lot of throwbacks. We're seeing a lot of throwback styles. You know, like
exactly.
I think the funk music kicked off back again when Bruno Mars played that song, or did that song,
Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk with what's the producer's name? I can't think of his name. But they did that song, and that's Mark Ronson. Yeah, and they brought that back, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I dig it. I got a couple songs up on Spotify that got that funk, G-funk, 90s kind of era style too. So yeah, man, a good time of music. Good time of music.
Exactly. So one of the key things as musicians, you love that performing live. So what have you been doing? What are some of the things that our viewers could check you out? Are you doing any live shows? Anything coming up within the digital space?
I actually just had a show on Friday for a publication up here in Ventura County called No Cover. It was streamed. You can find that on my Facebook page at Dylan Garcia Music on Facebook and Instagram. I was able to share the replay of the live, and it was the first time actually playing with my new band. And man, we gel like this, man. It was really good. We put on a really good performance. I'll say that. It felt really good to play. It's a lot different playing in front of cameras as opposed to fans. But that's just the reality that we're living in. It's either you adjust or you just sit back and complain about it.
Exactly. And that's the one thing I've seen a lot of my musician friends doing a lot of these live virtual concerts, virtual performances, and I mean, people are digging it. People are loving it. One thing that I did want to touch on before we only have couple more questions left is the mental health issue. You are performing on mental health, and especially since we're coming up into November. November is one of the months that are singled out for mental health. What are some of your experiences, and what are some of the things that you've dealt with when coming into it? Because I think everybody, especially in the Latino community, there was a stigma to it. I know when I grew up, there was a stigma to it. Now I think it's becoming a little less, and people are finding those places to get help.
It's beginning to be a talked about subject. It's no more we just keep quiet, or it's no more just like the typical saying, "Oh, that person had a nervous breakdown." You know, that's like the old saying in our families. What's been really moving to me is the support of my family. I think that's very important. Support of your loved ones. So your family has an understanding of what's going on. You know, I think that's really, really important, is to give to give like a view, or to educating. We're educating the public more about it. You know, because a lot of times the only time you'd ever hear anything about mental illness is that somebody got killed by the cops and they were mentally ill, you know. And it would really shed a really dark light on things. And with my platform, and I believe with my capabilities, I can shed light on it, you know. Like, oh, this guy's got bipolar, but he's still kicking ass, you know, excuse my language. This guy's bipolar, but he's not giving up. You know, it's one thing where you could just sit at home, play the victim card, eat Cheetos, and sit on the couch, which I'm not trying to say like in a joking way, because that's a lot of people's realities. And it all depends on your doctors, what kind of meds you're getting, how you're taking care of yourself, if you're actually exercising, going for walks, getting outside of the house. Like, there's so many, and being creative also. Being creative is really important. And, you know, it's something that I'm no longer ashamed of, because I did feel a lot of shame when, I mean, I'll tell you this. So in 2009, I had been dealing with things my whole life, but in 2009, after I had just signed a record deal, things are really starting to happen really fast, and it became super overwhelming. And I think that I got so locked in that I needed to be this big, grandiose figure with my music that I think it really did a lot of harm to me mentally. And I mean, I ended up being hospitalized. I was hospitalized for 5 days. And once I was finally medicated, I came out of that hospital ready to conquer the world. And I performed at the House of Blues a couple days later, right at the House of Blues, one of my biggest performances ever. And, you know, all that good stuff happened. But then I had then the treatment of the doctors didn't really suit what I was trying to go for. And next thing I know, after I have this huge, amazing performance, I'm back on the couch, eating Cheetos, being on the wrong meds, and just watching TV, you know, it's either you have the right ones or you don't, but you got to keep going back, explaining your symptoms, like trying to get better. You got to have the will to get better, the willpower to get better. And it's our own personal struggle, because, you know, what I'm dealing with may not be what the person next to me is dealing with, but we all got to find a way to overcome.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to give some hope to it. I want to give hope to it. Like that person that's feeling down and feeling like there's no way out, they see like, oh man, this guy's dealing with the same thing I deal with, and he's talking about it, and he's playing music, and he's thriving. Like, why can't I have that life either?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing, like, I noticed experiencing it when I was in high school with stress, depression, and things like issues that came up during my time. And I noticed my salvation was meditation. Meditation really did help with all that stress, and that taking on too much on myself really did help. And that's a great thing that you're an advocate for getting help and doing things to really alleviate it. And final question. Can we see an album coming up soon? Is there a release date for a full album yet, or
not yet? Not yet. This whole project has been. I mean, it all began when this pandemic started, and I released my first song. It's a Beautiful Day. It's on Spotify right now. That was kind of like the lead single for the project that I'm working on. And Summer Love just followed up, keeping that good, positive vibe alive. You know.
Awesome. So, yeah, awesome. It's great. Continue. What did you have to say about that?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, what else? What did you have to continue with that? Because
I was gonna say it's gonna take us out of this mess we're in. You know, it's gonna give a chance, because a lot of artists right now, don't get me wrong, are speaking about all the things that are going on right now. We got Black Lives Matter, we got the pandemic. Another big thing coming up right now is the stimulus package that Congress is going to pass. Like, there's a lot going on right now. So it's like, if I can give a person 3 minutes and 27 seconds of a break from that, so they remember that time during the summer, or they got something going on like that right now, then I did my job.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where we have a little cue of what it's like doing video chats. And you're not in front of people where you can read when everything is at, but it's going to be what we have to do for the next few months, hopefully not too much longer.
Exactly.
But, Dylan, thank you for coming on to MUSE. We really appreciate it. Tell everybody where they could find you, if you have any upcoming streaming shows coming up. And we all know now the track comes out this Friday.
Yes. So you can find me on social media at Dylan Garcia Music, and that is on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to my website, dylangarciamusic.com. Follow me on social media. I do like pop-up concerts. So I'll be in a mood, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go live on Facebook and Instagram right now and just jam out. And, you know, just stay tuned with me. You can catch me by surprise. As of now, I think there's actually one more live stream that I'm going to be doing. There's actually going to be a feature in No Cover magazine that's up here in Ventura County. I'm really, really proud of that one. Like, if you're a local musician and you made it to that magazine, you've made it.
Cool.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And Yeah, I want to say you guys be blessed. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Keep your mind strong. Keep fighting. Never give up. And there's always hope. There's always hope out of any situation.
Exactly. Hey, thank you so much, Dylan. Really.
Yeah, thank you.
We look forward to seeing the music video this Friday.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.